All right, welcome to the Explainer, Junior Analysts. Today, we're going to completely demystify exactly how information systems transform clunky manual tasks into lightning-fast integrated workflows. You know, if you've ever looked at a massive dataset and wondered how those raw numbers actually connect to the daily, on-the-ground operational reality of a company, well, you are in the exact right place. We are going to dig right into the very foundation of how a modern business actually operates.
To give you a bird's-eye view, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the business process engine, run through an order fulfillment case study, explore the jump from sequential to parallel flows, uncover the power of transaction systems, and finally, connect all the functional areas. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, Section 1, the business process engine. Let's set our baseline.
As analysts, you're interacting with system data every single day, right? But it is absolutely crucial to remember what that data represents out in the real world. A business process is essentially a logically related set of tasks that define how specific work actually gets done. It's not just a one-off action. It is actively managing the flow of material, information, and knowledge. Think of it this way. A business is fundamentally just a giant puzzle made up of these processes. Sure, some are tied to just one functional area, like HR hiring an employee, or manufacturing assembling a widget. But the most complex, critical processes, they are cross-functional. They have to span across several different departments to actually succeed.
To really ground this abstract idea, let's jump into Section 2, our case study on order fulfillment.
In a traditional, non-automated business environment, specific departments like sales, accounting, and manufacturing operate in almost total isolation. It creates this classic and, frankly, terrible toss-it-over-the-wall mentality. Sales does their part and then literally or figuratively tosses the paperwork over a wall to accounting. Accounting finishes up, then tosses it over to manufacturing. They operate in these complete functional silos, often totally blind to what the rest of the company is doing.
Let's break that down a bit more. Treat a single customer order like the protagonist of our story. Traditionally, it has to survive this incredibly rigid sequential chain of manual steps before the customer ever gets their hands on the product. Step 1. Sales generates and submits the order. Step 2. Accounting takes over to check the credit and generate an invoice. And then, only then, Step 3. Manufacturing gets the green light to assemble and ship it. It's a completely linear path. If there's a typo, a missing document, or a delay at Step 1 or 2, well, Step 3 just cannot happen. The whole system grinds to a total halt.
And that bottleneck right there brings us to Section 3, sequential to parallel flows. Time to break down those silos.
So, information technology steps in as the ultimate disruptor here. Let's compare the old way with the new way. The manual, sequential approach means isolated tasks. One step absolutely must finish before the next one can even dream of beginning. But the modern power of information systems? That gives us automated and parallel flows. By totally rewiring how information moves, IT allows for simultaneous steps. Imagine sales entering an order, and instantly, in real time, both accounting and manufacturing are notified. Manufacturing can literally start pulling parts from inventory at the exact same moment accounting is running the automated credit check. IT dramatically boosts efficiency by automating the tedious manual stuff and replacing those agonizing sequential delays with parallel action. It's a total game changer.
So, how does that parallel automation actually happen under the hood? Let's hit Section 4, the power of transaction systems.
Before we can even talk about high-level corporate strategy or predictive analytics, we absolutely need these engines purring in the background. Transaction processing systems, or TPS, are exactly what they sound like. They perform and record the daily, routine transactions necessary to conduct business. They're designed to serve operational staff with predefined, highly structured goals. Whether that's the sales order entry we just talked about, scanning a shipping label, or processing a time card, the TPS is the bedrock data collection tool of the entire organization.
I mean, just think about the sheer panic if company paychecks are even like an hour late. That is exactly why we rely on systems like a payroll TPS. From a single employee database, this routine transaction system routes crucial data everywhere it needs to go. It updates the general ledger, fires off text data to government agencies, generates management reports, and thankfully issues the actual paychecks. These systems reliably record the necessary daily operations to quite literally keep the business alive, functioning, and completely legal.
Now, this is where your role as an analyst starts to really take shape. You have your transaction processing systems, handling order processing, materials planning, the ledger, and that raw operational data feeds directly into the firm's management information systems, or MIS. This upward flow of data is what lets middle-level managers actually monitor business operations through consolidated reports and dashboards. The MIS takes that routine, ground-level TPS data and turns it into organized business intelligence. It provides real answers to routine questions about how the firm is performing right now.
All right, we've seen the micro level. Let's zoom all the way out. Section 5, connecting the functional areas through enterprise architecture.
As a junior analyst, this enterprise architecture is the big picture you really need to internalize. Enterprise applications execute business processes across the entire firm, and they involve every level of management, from operational all the way up to executive. Picture enterprise systems sitting right at the center, spanning across sales, manufacturing, finance, and HR. Instead of those disconnected functional silos we saw earlier, enterprise systems integrate data from all these key processes into a single centralized database. This supercharges communication throughout the whole company and gives managers a completely assembled 360-degree view of operations.
These massive enterprise applications fall into 4 heavy-hitting categories. You've got your core enterprise systems, or ERPs, acting as the central nervous system. But you also have interorganizational systems like supply chain management, or SCM, that manages relationships with suppliers, automating the flow of info to move products at the absolute lowest possible cost. Then there's customer relationship management, or CRM, which coordinates processes to optimize revenue and really boost customer retention. And finally, knowledge management systems, or KMS, for capturing and applying the organization's expertise. By utilizing these cross-functional systems, we completely demolish those clunky silos and build a unified, highly responsive organization.
Which brings us to the end of today's explainer, and I want to leave you with a vital question to ask yourself as you head back to your desk. If these powerful information systems can handle the heavy lifting, automating the routine steps, and seamlessly routing daily transactions into parallel workflows, what new strategic value are you going to create with your data today? Think about it. The busy work is automated. The silos are gone. The data is centralized. Now it's completely up to you to use your unique analytical perspective to look beyond the routine and drive true business value. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.